Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles, where you learn how to be the magician of your life. My name is Anna, and I'm your most favorite manifestation life energy coach under the sun. Reason why there's no such coaching program like my coaching program, and nobody spends as much time with and on their clients like I do. True story. All the information for me is below. In order to be in my coaching, you need to pre-book. Very important because I get booked up every single day. And you need to sign the coaching agreement by hand, scan it, and send it via email with your earliest availability for our first session. Now, understand that this is a journey of 2 to 3 months. This is what I recommend. You don't have to, but this is what I recommend. I mean, ultimately, listen, even a month in my coaching is better than all of the other coaches combined. It's just true story, okay? I just know what I'm talking about. I've been doing this for 9 years, and I've tested everything in my coaching and know exactly what works. So you have two coaching packages to choose from: on the go or the signature one, which I recommend because this is the one that 2 to 3 months of this coaching package will change your manifestational game. This I guarantee, okay? But everybody's different and everybody's progress depends on how much I have to work through. Sometimes there have been times that the client had to stay with me longer. Now, that is in no shape or form a bad thing. It just means that they themselves felt like they needed more. Okay, we go through a lot in my coaching emotionally, any kind of traumatic event, any kind of stressful event. These things need to be purged, okay, before you ever embark on the manifestational journey. And this right here, what I just said, the cleansing of the palette really frees you up to do like magical shit in your life. I'm just telling you, like, time and time again in my coaching, people come in and it's like healings are happening, money's coming in all of a sudden, it's SP is coming back like in the shortest period of time. Literal magical things because the person is in earnest working on completely getting rid of all that garbage that they've accumulated throughout the years. And it doesn't automatically mean that if you're older in years, in terrestrial years, that somehow automatically you will need more. No, that's not the case at all. Actually, it doesn't have anything to do with your age. It just has to do with your personality, and some people are just more sensitive than others, and that's just really what it comes down to. Okay, but if you have any questions before booking my coaching, all the information is below. So last night, as I was working on something completely different and unrelated to coaching, I started getting these downloads. And yesterday I attempted to record this, but I feel like I'm going to try it again in order to explain it a little bit better. And I don't know, at some points in, like me as a coach, also I get inspired to share more on my channel. And I always know which download is for the channel or for like my monthly subscription, for example. The more in-depth conversation, the Magic and Miracles monthly audios. So it's always a different flavor to the download, if you will, which makes my job I guess rather easy to just kind of express it to you. So the title of this audio is how to essentially change someone or bring something in the shortest amount of time possible. And I get this question a lot. So of course, instantaneous manifestations are possible. I'm sure you already have manifested these things in kind of like in a smaller scale, like something small. Okay. And so it isn't that it is impossible, but here's what you need to do if right now you're not in a good situation. Okay. So let's just take SP as an example. What's the shortest time that you can manifest your SP back in? So again, time is very relative, but like, let's just say if it's 2 weeks, that is considered a short period of time, right? But let's just say if it takes you like 2 months or 3 months, like in my coaching, like 2 or 3 months in my coaching to arrive at a very stable, sophisticated, very savvy, energetically place where not only are you able to manifest them back, but you're able to keep them. So this is what I'm going to describe, not just a quick fix. Okay, don't worry about the fucking quick fixes, darlings. You already like. You know what this reminds me of really quick? I'm going to get into it, but it reminds me of when I started my fashion company. When I first started, like I said, I was not formally trained. And so literally, sorry about this. I studied sewing through even YouTube videos. I've taken some sewing classes, this and that, but ultimately like self-taught. So you imagine like I did a lot of fucking up in my first year of business. And so there was this jacket that I bought, this super expensive fabric for, and the lining was a ton of money also, but I really wanted to make it happen. And I made a mistake in the way that I cut the jacket. And because of that, the whole shebang needed to be restructured. And so, and so I was talking to one of my seamstresses back then, and I'm like, you know what, let's just toss it in the garbage. And she said to me, listen, darling, like with a little bit of tweaking and a little bit of patience, you can rework this and not toss such, beautiful fabric in the garbage. And I'll never fucking forget that. And she was so right, because we resurrected it, it actually became even better. And so if you have already spent like an X amount of time and money, doing this work, let's just say, or what you thought you would call doing this work, isn't it much better to spend a little bit more time, but to do it the right way so it finally works? That's my point with anything. Listen, if your passion dwindles, you know what? You need to really remind yourself that what you're here ultimately for is for the successful kind of life. This is your destiny. So you owe it to yourself, even especially if you've been here at it for a very long time. So this is the shortest amount of time, which again, 2 to 3 months is not long. And even if it was a fucking year, okay, in code, not that actually that happened one time, but it was a very kind of like special case. Because whatever, it's too long to explain, and I really don't feel like it. But even if it's, let's just say 4 or 5 months that it takes you in coaching, compared to like years of wandering around, I'd rather you do it the way that it's supposed to be. And the reason I'm passionate about it, I wish somebody did this for me. So the way to bring back NSP in the shortest amount of time is to understand that from the point of like the belief system that you had when you manifested this version, let's just say, this version of events, this version of finances, this version of whatever, like replace it with anything else, it still works, right? Is that you had some preconceived notions, all right? You had some preconceived notions about how relationships should work, about how men are or how women are, or how you position yourself in the romantic sense, and the kind of value ultimately you placing upon yourself. This is what it all comes down to. So your beliefs produced this shitty version, and now you don't like it. The truth in the matter is this, ready? This motherfucker left your life, he or she, because you don't like this version. You're not satisfied with this version. Okay. And because you don't like like when you don't like somebody or you don't like something, you vibrated out of your life, because there's this, message going out into the quantum field very poignantly, very clearly, like, go away, I don't want you. Okay, so the things that you're still kind of passionate about are, easier to attract. Okay, so because you are not happy with this version, you literally vibrated this person out of your life. You created the circumstances for them to go away. Okay, it's not by chance. And I'm not one for excusing any kind of behavior, in particular abusive. Like, that's where I draw the line. Say what you will. I've experienced it in my own life. It ain't fucking fun. All right, just saying it's complete. It leaves a mark on you that, you really need to work through quite a bit. So but anything else, right, is basically the outpicturing of whatever fears, whatever preconceived notions, whatever past maybe unforgiveness towards somebody else completely and entirely showed up in this person. So this person, then, if you want to have them back, you need to create a version that is completely in sync with you. What do I mean by that? That they're not an asshole, that they behave the way you want them to behave, that they're faithful, loyal, committed to you, whatever the fuck else you want from them. Maybe they didn't want kids, now they finally do, and all the other examples that you could possibly think of, okay? It needs to be that it's on your terms. And the reason, like, don't try to talk yourself into, other words, into being happy and settling for the first version. Okay, just be honest with yourself. There's some things sometimes people really lie to themselves about. Just being the people pleasers that they are, they just excuse like all sorts of behavior. Okay, so be honest with yourself and say, no, this is unacceptable. And this is why I'm not so crazy about this person. Okay, and this is why they're not here, quite frankly. So then the question becomes, can you convince your mind, can you convince yourself that this person can be in a different way where you can actually feel love for them? And feel safe with them, feel completely in sync with them, feel completely trusting them. What kind of version would evoke this emotion out of you? So that's the journey, because this is the thing. You cannot believe in something like that with the old beliefs, which are telling you an entirely different story, right? And so the shortest way is to address that indeed you're not satisfied with them, to address and accept that this shit right here, I should stop blaming myself for it. This is just my programming, okay? And stop condoning shit they did, all right? If it was just, it's nothing that they've done towards you, it's just not the right version is all. That maybe not aggressive towards you or not abusive, but there's other things that you want to change about. It doesn't have to be extreme at all. In other words, your heart, like when you're thinking of them, that version, I mean, your heart should like completely jump and say, yes, that one. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, that girl. Yeah, totally. Yeah. I could totally see myself spending time with them for the rest of my life. I could see us cooking or whatever the fuck we do, horseback riding, helicoptering, whatever the fuck, joking, sharing memories with blah, blah, blah. So, but if you don't have that, then your heart is saying no. And when your heart says no, it's over. How can you argue with your heart? So could be that you don't understand the rules of this game. They're your creation, and maybe you're confused about this part, okay? They're your creation, and I understand, and this is why I offer coaching. This is the primary reason people come to me, even though they don't realize it themselves sometimes, is to really unload all of that darkness and garbage that brings them down, brings their reality down, and delays things unnecessarily, and all that fucking junk. They need to realize that this is exactly what's affecting it. Like, there are no secrets in the universe. Don't worry about it. It's all in the open kind of deal situation, especially now. I don't know about you. Like, I can read people a little too well. It's a little scary for me. But anyway, your reality, your perception of this person needs to change, and you think of them fondly. Now you're on the same frequency with this version, that it's not like you don't feel like chasing them. You don't feel like grabbing onto them or whatever. Well, obviously, because now you've changed. And the love is of a completely different frequency. The love is like relaxed, just trust and no worries. But you yourself created that too when you get there. It was only you who needed to change. But so this mechanism is entirely like right now, you're completely misinterpreting the situation you're in. It's all up to in the interpretation anyway, but if you're misinterpreting this as something completely horrible that happened to you, that also adds another layer of delay. Okay, so if you just understand it's just a game we're playing here, and we're using our perceptions to alter reality and see this reality based on your perceptions and belief and no other reality. That's, the benefit and the downfall, quite frankly. If the person is not in sync with their own dreams, it's going to be, quite literally impossible to and they can be well qualified and super fucking intelligent with, I don't know, all the, Ivy League school diplomas and blah, 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 blah. It will not matter. It will completely not matter. If you're not on the frequency of accepting your dreams in your heart and being like, yeah, okay, now, you know what I mean? Now there is no friction between me and my dreams because why? I've allowed myself to have what I really want. Why on earth would you not do this? Well, because you don't think so highly of yourself. And that's, usually why all the problems start creating themselves in the love life or in the financial life. And so the shortest possible way is to get yourself on the frequency of accepting that. First of all, in my case, the way that I would teach, like I already said in the beginning, is not just to get it one time, not just to manifest your SP for a comeback, but to make them stay. Sometimes people don't, totally take that for granted. Like it's that's just how it is. No. It's to stay. That's the intention, to stay. It's not just for them to come back to apologize, but to have a different version entirely and a different kind of future, therefore. Because again, that old version did not belong. With the old version, it would be so bad, you don't even know it. Like the universe spared you that situation. Not just to get it one time, to keep it. The continuation of to continue manifesting it as your normal reality. And so basically in coaching, you're getting on that frequency and making it your home base. That's what it really becomes. And when somebody's like holding your hand throughout it, it's a lot easier because just biologically you're changing, physiologically you're changing, your molecules are changing when you start to think differently and you start altering the reality in a different way. Now sometimes you have like in between, and so it's always a choice, and the universe at some point will present you like both realities in one day, maybe for a week, maybe for a month even. Like simultaneously, you will be living in two different realities from which you're switching to which you want to switch. And you will see like diametrically opposed situations. And so if you continue choosing the new reality and insisting upon it, and that doesn't happen if you're not strong enough to insist upon it, you just needs to be for a period of time. You are completely dedicated to that. And once you physiologically change, and just literally on a molecular level, on the mental level, on an emotional level, you are more in sync with your dreams now than ever before. Like let's just say 96%, your battery is charged towards your dreams, and you can vaguely remember what the asshole version was like, or what it was like to be poor, or what it was like when you didn't have blah, 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 or when it was like when you were unwell, and just completely in another reality you are now. Okay? And if it comes up, it brings up no emotion in you. So that's what you're looking for. The emotional connection, it needs to be with the new reality. Completely married to that. And that, if you can do that overnight, I can, but it's a muscle you have to practice, And so If you could do that overnight, yeah, that's the shortest way. Switch your emotion about it permanently. Just automatically, just this is a brand new version, brand new this, da da da. But you see, humanly, I don't think it's possible for somebody who's starting out because it takes some getting used to. And that's what we work on in coaching. But this is all you're doing. It really is just all you're doing. Can you accept a new parallel reality? Can you blow your own mind? Kind of deal. Maybe you're not used to these kinds of conversations. Okay, maybe you're used to saying, well, if it's meant to be and if they change, no, it's your job to change them. It's your job to decide from here on, like, what is going to go on, even after you get them back. Like, what is going to, what is your relationship is going to be like every step of the way. Exhausting? I think not. I think it's more exhausting to not get what you want. But if you know how you do it, you become better at it, better and better and better at it. And then before you know it, it's just, you're doing it so automatically. It just comes to you just naturally, like breathing. Thank you very much for listening. Again, no live tomorrow. Next week, we'll resume our regular schedule. But if you need to reach out to me, all the information from me is below. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.